All right, everybody, what's up? It's your boy Croissant. I just wanted to come in here and talk about Nintendo, right? And the Switch 2 announcements. I mean, like at the time of recording, the Switch 2 presentation was about like a month ago, right? Alongside, right? June 5th this year, that's when it's coming out. Mario Kart World was also announced, right? We saw a little bit of footage. It's the next installment in the Mario Kart series. When I saw the trailer, I was honestly pretty happy. I feel like it was like the natural evolution of the Mario Kart series, and like graphically it looked great, the character selection looked great, the maps look cool. Open world is kind of the trend right now where a lot of games are going, and I thought it was cool, but they never released the price. So for what I thought it was going to be worth, $60, I thought it was pretty good. I mean, after this trailer, right, I'm on cloud nine. This game looks great. I'm sure Nintendo has some launch titles they're going to show today, right? Like some other titles they're going to show, right? Right. The rest of the Switch 2 presents felt like hollow. Nintendo announces like all these games we can play on the Switch 2, 120 frames, 4K support. But some of these games are like 5 years old. I understand, right? Little Timmy's probably super excited to play Cyberpunk on Switch 2, but most people have PCs. Most people have PlayStations or Xboxes. The general population has had almost 5 years to play that game. I mean, I could see certain fan bases could be hyped for this, but I just want to see some new games, new ideas, right? Now, I will say, after watching some later footage from other YouTubers, right, on like hands-on experience, they were playing the Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom in 120 frames. It looked good. I mean, other than that, GameCube emulation is also coming. Switch 2. It doesn't look like that impressive to me. I mean, considering it's been around for as long as it has, GameCube emulation, you know. But yeah, you could play the OG Wind Waker on your Switch too. That'll be nice. But we can't talk about the games, right, without glossing over this atrocity of a PR move, right? The tech demo welcome tour. Easiest $10 I've ever saved. Why are you charging anything for this game? If it was $5, people still wouldn't buy it. Whether it's Wii Sports, right, Nintendo Land, Astro, whatever, Astro's Playroom, right, for the PlayStation. It's proven these consoles can drop with pack-in titles, show off the system's features, show off what it's capable of doing without charging the players. And Reggie was a huge advocate for this for Wii Sports, Reggie Sports, for Wii Sports, because Japan did not want to include that as a pack-in title, but Reggie fought, and he got Wii Sports as a pack-in title for the Wii, and it was a huge success in America, right? And bottom line, like, customers don't want to hear about inflation, cost of everything increasing. We already know, right? That's why you had to charge $10 for an instruction manual with the few mini games. It doesn't make sense to me. But on a brighter note, there were still some games like coming to Switch 2 that I got excited for, right? From someone who has only played the Game Boy Advanced era Metroid, right? Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. This could get me to fall in love with the series again. I feel like this game is perfect for showing off the mouse controls, right? Mouse control capabilities for Switch 2, I think, open a lot of doors for people who want to play FPS, first person, even third person shooters on Switch 2. I think it's going to be a game changer for sure for Nintendo. But Daddy FromSoft announced Elden Ring Tarnished Edition, right? So now people on Switch and Nintendo Sphere can now play the greatest game of all time, Elden Ring. Does that include the DLC? Does not include the DLC for Shadow of the Erdtree. They did unveil the Switch 2 exclusive Dusk Bloods, right? This is going to be, I did some more research. This is going to be like a PvPvE experience, right? So you can kind of win by either playing against other people or beating the NPC bosses in the area. That's kind of like my understanding of how you're going to get points in this game, or kind of win, or whatever the objective, the win condition is for this game. But I will reserve judgments until I see some gameplay. But the setting, the vibe, it's right on my alley, right? All right, next, Kirby Air Riders. Kirby Air Riders Definitely a game to keep an eye out for. I barely played the GameCube entry, but I have like fond memories of playing it at my friend's house on the GameCube. And you know Sakurai, he's gonna cook up something crazy. So definitely something to watch out for. And I know there's Mario Kart World still, another racing game, but let's just see. Could be a totally different vibe, and just a lot of great memories from GameCube. So let's see. And to wrap up the direct, you got 3D Donkey Kong, the return of DK himself, finally, after pulling our hair out, after playing Donkey Kong Country Returns for the 7th time since this came out. Right, I got the itch to play Mario Odyssey again, man. Bonanza, Donkey Kong Bonanza seems like a return to form for that addicting Nintendo 3D platformer that we just one more moon and I'll go to bed. One more banana and I'll go to bed. It's super addicting. I know I'm gonna sink a ton of hours into this game, but we need to wait to see more about the story, the areas, right? Like everything we're gonna be able to destroy as DK to see, right? If it's worth $70. And that's the direct, right? My immediate thoughts are the prices. Now later on, you find out what the prices are. The system priced at $450 for just the console, $500 for the bundle with Mario Kart World. I mean, for the tech that's inside, it's not a bad price. 4K support, 120 frames per second, larger screen, cooler system in the Switch 2, right? In the Switch 2 dock itself, as well as in the Switch. Mouse controls, better Joy-Con design. I heard it's going to be a lot better at preventing drift. The games and the accessories are the main issue in terms of pricing, in my opinion. So a game like Mario Kart World is $80, but Donkey Kong is $70. I don't really understand the justification for these prices, right? Considering the Mario Kart Direct we just watched, where it showcased like everything new, quote unquote. And it just seemed like a natural progression for Mario from like Mario Kart 8. New tricks, new items, new maps, new characters, the new like Grand Prix and an option to race against people like online. Like you have to have that online option. They never promised like ongoing support for the game, DLC, more characters, more maps, like nothing. But at least, I can rewind from 5th place to 24th place, I guess. I don't know. I just can't get my head around Mario Kart 8 being $60 and Mario Kart World jumping to $80. And I know $80 is, right, like a lot of money for one game. PlayStation, Xbox, they already made $70 games an industry standard. And people have become comfortable paying that much if the product has a lot to offer. So why would Mario Kart World be priced at $80? At the end of the day, it doesn't even matter because, diehard Mario Kart fans, they're going to pay anything for the newest Mario Kart. And that's enough for Nintendo because it feels like Nintendo is charging for your nostalgia for the franchise. And at the time of this recording, right, Microsoft has come out. They said they're raising their prices on consoles, accessories, and eventually their games. Now, I want to make a separate video about that, but my thoughts on that for now will be in that next video. So let's move on for now. Now, another point I want to make is like I have no problem with games being $70 when they come out, right? Because I'm pretty sure in a year or two, they're not going to be full price anymore, especially if, the game isn't received as well as it was on release date. Like the game will most likely be put on sale. I can buy it at a discount. The big Nintendo games, Mario, Donkey Kong, they will never drop in value. Never have, and they never will. Mario Kart World will be $80 on release, and it will be $80 in 15 years when the Switch 4 is being announced. So the fact that Nintendo games seem to rarely depreciate, it like adds to the burn. That $70, $80 price point does to my heart and all of our wallets too, right? Like we're all paying that price. Like in closing, like will I get a Switch 2? Eventually, probably would be my answer. I'll steer clear of like the release date consoles, like I always do, right? I never want to get a release date console until I know, right, the system works, It works as intended. There's more games that are coming out, and I think right the ability to play older games on the Switch, like Tears of the Kingdom, Odyssey, Mario Odyssey, Pokemon, Scarlet and Violet. Oh my God, that needs 60 frames so badly. Like on a strong playing that on a stronger console, that's gonna be an incredible experience. And I seriously like catch myself thinking about like Donkey Kong Bonanza like at least once a day. So I know eventually I have to play it. I'm gonna try and get a hold of one like this holiday season, probably after like people get their hands on it. They play it for a few months. The reviews roll in, right, on performance, the games, because more games are gonna get announced, obviously. I like discussing all these things, right? All gaming, news related things. So if that's something you enjoy as well, let me know in the comments what you think of the Switch 2 and when you're getting one, if you're getting one at all, right? And stay tuned for the next video. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all soon. Peace.